It seems like we've been getting updates galore for the Quest platform, and today it's finally multi-user support and app sharing on the Quest 2. We're going to talk about how it works, how to activate it, its limitations, and the fine print. Let's do it right now. First of all, let's talk about exactly what you're able to do with multi-user and app sharing, both of which are extremely easy to set up. All you have to do is go into the Experimental Features tab inside of your Quest 2 and turn on the multi-user and library sharing. Once that's turned on, there will be a new account tab that you can go to in the settings menu. In that account tab, you'll be able to add up to 3 additional accounts on your device. Now, one thing, all the accounts do have to have Facebook pages. So when you log in, each different individual logging into your Quest for multi-user has to have a Facebook account already set up. Again, it's super simple to set it up. I couldn't record it because it stops the recording when you actually try to go in and add an account, but essentially all you do is hit add account and it'll start up the same intro sequence you get when you first turn on your Quest 2. It'll go to the same location and it'll have you sign in to the Facebook account, and then it goes through and plays the introduction video and has you acknowledge the terms and conditions again, just as if you were setting up your Quest 2 for the first time. It'll then allow you to add a username and pick your profile photo if you want to change it, and then you are logged in as a different user. To switch users, it's super easy as well. You just click on the image of the user in the menu bar and then hit switch user in the top right hand corner. Super quick to jump between users. It takes literally a second. And if you want to lock the admin account so that a separate user cannot get into your account without a password, you can turn on the locking feature and add a passcode to the account so that that just keeps others out of your admin account. Now, there's some other stuff to keep in mind when it comes to multi-user, so let's go through the fine print. Number one is that it's not out on Quest 1 yet. It's currently just Quest 2. On the Oculus website, it says we're initially rolling multi-user and app sharing out to people on Quest 2 as an experimental feature, so we can continue to refine the experience. Eventually, we'll enable multi-user and app sharing for all Quest users. So right now, it's only Quest 2, but they are going to be bringing it to Quest 1 as well. All right, so let's get into some of the nitty gritty. Here's the fine print. So on the Oculus website, it says, for now, the admin account, aka the account you use to set up your headset, can add up to 3 additional accounts and enable app sharing on a single device. Remember, this is experimental. It might change as more households begin to own multiple Quest devices. So as of right now, you can only have app sharing on a single device. It does not spread across multiple devices, so if you log in to your account on a different device, you can't add additional users on there and share the apps at the same time as your other device. Now, you can do that. You can actually have 2 different devices both logged in with the primary account that has all the games on it and add additional users on both headsets, but you can only app share on one headset at a time. So you actually could potentially have app sharing up to as many people as you have for Quest headsets. If you had 3 Quest headsets, you could have 12 other accounts, but they wouldn't be able to app share simultaneously. As the switch inside of the settings on the Quest 2, when it's turned on for app sharing, or what they call library sharing, on one Quest headset, it disables it on all the other Quest 2 headsets. But you can disable it in the settings, go to a different headset, re-enable it, and app sharing works in that headset. So if you have just a crap ton of people and a whole bunch of quests and you want a whole bunch of people to be able to have their own accounts, you can, as long as you're not simultaneously playing those app shared games, no matter what game it is, have that many people. As I mentioned, next it says to use multi-user and app sharing, the admin and additional account holders must each log in to the shared device with their respective Facebook accounts. We've already talked about that. Also, it says additional account holders can only access the admin account holders' shared apps on the device where app sharing is enabled. If the additional account holder purchases their own device or already has their own device, they won't be able to access the admin's account's shared apps on their own headset. So this makes common sense to me. This just means that if you log into a Quest 2 as a secondary account, you can share the apps from the primary account. But if you get your own headset and you log in as the primary on that one with a secondary account, those apps do not translate over. Also, it says additional account holders may purchase their own apps and content on shared devices, but these apps won't be shared with either the admin accounts or other additional accounts. So what that means is that if you're a secondary account on your Quest 2, then if you purchase an application in that secondary account, you cannot play it with any of the other accounts that are secondary or the primary. So if you want to have that game available to all of the people on that Quest 2, both the admin and all the secondary accounts, you need to purchase the game with your admin account to do that. If you purchase it with one of your secondary accounts, then it will only be available to that secondary account. All right, so next it says you can still log into multiple devices at the same time. However, you will not be able to use the same account to run the same apps across multiple devices simultaneously. Different accounts can concurrently access a shared app on multiple headsets, keeping in mind that you can only enable app sharing on a single device at the moment. So for some reason, I was being really dense and didn't understand exactly how this was going to function for multiplayer and for the like when it comes to using app sharing. So I reached out to Oculus and they specifically told me exactly how to go about doing that. They said if you enable app sharing, you set the Quest 2 as the home device, and that primary account will share eligible apps with any secondary accounts. The primary user can then log into a different Quest 2 and have access to their purchased games. At that time, a secondary player can use the home device and be able to play the apps shared with them. The two devices can even play together. So essentially what this means is if you want to play multiplayer from two different headsets with the one owned game, what you have to do is log into the secondary headset with your primary account because that takes the games with it. You then play the multiplayer game on the secondary headset with your primary, and you play on your primary headset with your secondary account. Hopefully that makes sense. As of right now, you can only do this with two headsets. So if you've got two people you want to play, then you can do it that way because one of them can be the primary account and one can be using a secondary from that app shared headset. One last quick thing before we jump into the next portion, the admin account cannot be changed without a factory reset. The admin account can add additional accounts, but additional accounts cannot add their own accounts. So if you've got your primary account on your Quest 2, and you've decided you want to change your primary account or what they call an admin account for whatever reason, the only way to do that is to actually factory reset your device. Now, according to Oculus, app sharing applies automatically to all new apps in the Oculus Quest Store from this date forward. As of today, a limited number of existing games will not yet be available through app sharing unless players purchase their own copy, but over time we expect most of these apps to support additional users as well. I'll admit I'm not 100% sure which apps actually work because there was just a handful, 7 apps actually, that I could see when I logged in with my secondary account. That doesn't mean that's only the case because number one, I don't own every single game on the Quest 2, and number 2, sometimes I get access to games through a test channel and not through the official Quest Store, so it's possible that those applications don't translate over because they're not showing as through the official Quest Store. So I'm not 100% sure which games work. If you have app sharing enabled, let me know which games you found work down in the comments. So what exactly does multi-user and app sharing really do for the Quest 2 platform, and why is it such a big deal? Well, first of all, you won't have to worry about making sure that you wait until someone else has done a game if there's only one save slot in games anymore, or your high score gets messed up, or your privacy settings are different, or any of those different things, because those are all different in accordance with the account. So now when you switch accounts, you've got your own in-game progress, your own high scores, all of the application settings, your Guardian settings, they're all specific to that account. It also allows you to download games from the admin library. You don't have to have the game already installed. As long as it's part of that library, you can install it using that secondary account. And if the game's already installed, you don't need to re-download it. This also will help with multiplayer, as with games like Population 1, which I'm not 100% sure if it's supported yet or not, as I have not checked. But if it was for games like that, if you can jump in with the primary account on one headset and a secondary account on the other headset, you can play together with different usernames and it actually works. Really what this does though is by adding multi-user and app sharing on the same headset aside from multiplayer, it allows for one headset to feel like multiple people's device. It's like on a PlayStation or an Xbox. We've gotten so used to that for a couple of generations at least, where you can just swap accounts and have your own achievements, have your own game saves, have your own backgrounds or menu system or whatever, all your own settings. That makes sense to have on a platform like this. And up until now, we just haven't had that. It's felt like one individual's headset and you're just sharing it. But because of this coming out, this allows for a single headset in a family to have up to 4 people with different accounts on that headset. So they just swap between accounts and it feels like it's actually customized to them, which sounds simple, but it really is pretty cool. Plus, with online play, it does make a big difference as a lot of online games use leaderboard systems, or like in Population 1, you can be at a certain level and you don't want someone else playing that game with the same username. Well, now, even if you're not playing with someone else on the same account in a different headset, you can enjoy multiplayer games with your own username and your own stats. One thing I do hope they add in the future is the option for a guest account, which we have on a lot of platforms like the PlayStation, where you pick up a controller and it allows you to just log in as a guest. That would be awesome if it didn't save any information. It was just a guest account and you could jump in and play. There you go. There is my walkthrough update for the new features on the Quest 2. I really hope they get the Quest 1 added in very soon, because multi-user support is one of the things that's been being asked of for a long time, pretty much since launch, and I think it's a staple feature that really needs to be part of the whole platform. It's awesome also to be able to have game sharing as part of that, and being able to play multiplayer with another headset together is pretty awesome. I just hope that they allow us in the future to be able to do even more, so a family of 4 or 5 or even just 3 can play all together with one purchased game on their own headsets. What do you think of the updates? Let me know down in the comments. Also, if you want to get the most out of your Quest and your Quest 2, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down there and the bell icon as well, and you can check out even more of my videos right there. Thank you so much for watching, stay safe, and happy questing!